I have to unmute everyone I muted.
I could
Hey,
mute.
hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
If you start hearing two of me, let me know, because it means my laptop decided to fix itself.
Okay.
Ah,
I can only currently hear one of you.
yeah,
That's good.
same.
Well,
The twins have not
until
entered the chat yet.
I have energy and the emotional fortitude, I'm just voice of godding it for our streams.
It's okay.
Yeah. Thankfully, the lip sync matches up identically, so it's fine. That was the one thing I was concerned about.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Who else is fine? Me. No. my hair is fine.
100%.
By the definition of fine, like it's fine hair texture, which does not get the volume and poof they had in this movie.
Also, I want to go ahead and apologize to anybody who didn't get the notification, or either you're coming in late or you're coming in on the re-watch because you didn't see it live. I 100% 3.5 hours ago went in and set the stream up and thought I scheduled it, but I guess my internet glitched or something and it didn't actually schedule it. And I did not realize this until like less than 30 minutes ago. So
Yikes.
hopefully people still see it. I posted it in the places. So yes.
We are giving different time periods and vibes of vampires, and I think that's funny.
That was as I was I don't know where my fantasy blouse is, so I was like, I'm going full 90s 2000s vampire. Yes. Which I think is very thematic of why Louis is different. I'm different.
He's just not like
he's not like
other vampires. He cares. All right.
He has a human soul.
Okay, so hi, welcome everyone. This is a Let's Talk movie, and the movie we have decided to discuss is the 1994 adaptation of Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire, and I am very excited to discuss this. I had hoped to listen to the book as well, but I did not get a chance to do that because I died like last night. I was this close to rescheduling our stream today, but I have eaten and taken pain meds, and my pain is a very low thrum now, so I can deal.
Fun.
I would like for us to go around, because this is not only like an older movie, this is also a cultural cornerstone for vampire fiction and vampire media. Not for the reason a lot of people think, though. And so I want to go ahead and like, do any of us actually have experience reading Anne Rice's work or know anything about Anne Rice? I will go last. So, Cody, go ahead.
Nope, nothing.
The limit of what I know about Interview with the Vampire, which apparently the movie and the TV show at least is Interview with the Vampire, not a vampire, and I feel lied to by my brain because I thought it was Interview with a Vampire, but it's the. According to my phone, is seeing like Tumblr shit for the TV show for years.
It's Interview with the Vampire.
It is the vampire. Yeah, because I know a vampire as well, but it's the vampire, which is
no, I'm saying that's one of those things where, oh, what is it when like culturally everyone remembers it one way, but it's actually another way? Huh? The Mandela effect, yes.
Yeah, Mandela effect.
So I've seen stuff online about Lestat and Louis from the TV show, and then I've seen I've seen images from the movie before. I hadn't watched the movie before. But I knew more about the story than I thought I knew before I watched it. But I don't know anything about Anne Rice. Fully thought she lived a long ass time ago, and then it said the screenplay was written by her, and I was like, so she was alive at least 30 years ago. She might still be alive. I don't know anything about her. Fully looking up right now is Anne Rice.
Yeah, she was alive the last time I looked her up. So, no, she died in 2021 at the age of 80. So,
okay, so she was born a long time ago.
Yeah, last time I looked her up was like 2019, 2020. So it makes a lot of sense.
But go her and her gay vampires.
I did a lot of research on Anne Rice in the early 2000s and throughout the 2010s because she was such a cultural she had such a cultural impact on vampire fiction and vampire media, and I, as you all know, want to know as much about authors and stuff, especially ones that impact my interest as I can. Also, a lot of people were like blaming her for vampire romance, and I'm like, that was not a her thing. That was around because when Twilight came out, a lot of people blamed Anne Rice for Twilight, and they said it's her fault that vampires became like romantic interests and that vampire media became so sexual and stuff. And I'm like, no. That they also blamed her for vampire media becoming queer or homoerotic. And I'm like, Camilla is, I'm pretty sure, one of the oldest, if not the oldest pieces of published vampire media, and it's queer as fuck. Like, plus Dracula is extremely erotic. There is a scene where Jonathan is non-consensually in an orgy with all of Dracula's brides. He's drugged out of his fucking mind, does not know what's going on, but that is what is happening in there. So it's like, no, she didn't actually invent any of those things, nor did she popularize those. That was always a part of vampire media. Vampires before Anne Rice and before Interview with the Vampire, they were largely, they were monsters. Like, that was the thing. They were boogeymen. They were a lesson to be learned. They were the representation of lust, temptation, desires. Like, that's their whole thing. Vampires' whole thing in mythology and lore since their inception was that they were sexual. They were, representations of why all of that is bad and nasty. Now, what Anne Rice did do was explore the idea that you don't actually lose your soul when you become a vampire. She explored, but can a man still be a monster, but can a monster still be a man after they become a vampire? And that is Louis' character. Louis' whole thing is, it's his search for what is my morality now that I have to kill to survive? And what does family, what does connection, what does all of that mean when you have eternity and when you no longer have to worry about losing it in the same way? So like vampire stories before Anne Rice were all external conflicts. They were all, let's kill the monster is bad. Werewolf stories were all about the internal conflicts of, but is man a monster or is the monster man? So Anne Rice was like, but what if vampire did that instead?
I'm wondering if it's like all or like the vast majority. And it would be curious to like look to see if there are like smaller shorts or something like that did the same thing, or like different types, or if she fully was like, no, she is the pioneer of this.
She is the pioneer. There, like, that's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it happened recently, but part of the reason it happened recently is because
when did this book come out?
The 70s, I think.
That's not recently. In the history of literature,
the last 100 years is recently as far as fiction is concerned.
Yeah.
As far as sharing written stories and stuff, like.
April 12th of 1976 was it originally published. Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice.
A vampire or the vampire?
The vampire.
Oh.
Like, we're all going to say A, okay? Because he was not the only one.
Exactly. That's why it's like...
But, yeah, Lestat was essentially the representation of what vampires were in media and in fiction before Anne Rice. And then, yeah. So what did y'all actually, like, think of the movie? I really enjoyed the movie. I am glad they aged Claudia up, but also, God, that's so weird.
How old is she supposed to be?
In the book, 5.
How old is she supposed to be in the movie?
10.
Okay.
Kirsten Dunst was only 11 when she played her, so pretty close age-wise. But yeah, in the book, she is 100% just 5. Another thing, another difference, because I did look up some differences just so that I was informed on how the movie adaptation would have changed things, was that in the book, Louis' depression and existential crisis pre-vampire is because of the death of his brother. But Anne Rice really liked the change of it being because of a loss of a wife and child, because she felt that made his bond to Claudia make more sense. So that, I think, is also a good example of when an author can not necessarily fix, but kind of update and change something in an adaptation. Not all changes are evil. So.
Also, according to the opening credits, which Hulu gave me the option to skip intro, and I was like, no, what? We're setting the scene. Yes, they were very long setting the scenes back then, but still. And she wrote the screenplay. She probably had an assistant or something, but like it still said screenplay.
Yeah, she likely would have had assistants and like talked to the director and stuff. Yeah. I don't know who made, because that wouldn't have been in the screenplay per se. That change that could have been like because that was just during his narration, his opening monologue. So that could have been something that like Brad himself or a director or somebody pointed out.
I mean, they had the whole statue of a woman that he was, which was an angel, but I kind of saw it as a representation of the wife.
Yes, but I'm just saying that like during the reading or rehearsal or something. I'm just saying we don't know when the change was made, per se.
Yes, and I was just saying that the changes, she clearly had a lot of say in it. It wasn't like someone took her book and totally did their own thing. I was saying,
okay, I misunderstood what you were trying to say. I thought you were trying to say the statue was there, Sam. She obviously decided the change in the script, and I was like, what? But also, forgive me a little bit, you guys. As you know, I'm dealing with the migraine, so I'm still out of it. And communication is, well, not communication so much as my communication processing. I take it really well, but I am a mess underneath.
You see, before he was a masterpiece in deception.
What did you think of the movie, Cody?
Yeah.
As someone who normally is not a big vampire fan, I did really like it, mainly because of the like connection between Louis and Claudette, and like the father-daughter connection.
Claudia.
I realized after I said Claudette, I was like, No, that's a wrong name, but I don't know what the name is, and I'm not going to be able
I
to
was trying to remember who Claudette was, to be honest. And then I realized what happened.
But it might have been Claudette, and I changed it in my head.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I feel like that's wrong,
No,
but I don't know what the right answer is. So I'm going to keep going.
No, Madeline. I was like, was the other woman Marionette? No, it was Madeline.
I also did like the very like I don't know if they're subtle. I don't know if they're not subtle. I also kind of feel a little out of it right now, and I don't know why this suddenly came on. Like the homoeroticness of the movie.
Oh, the homoeroticness was toned down for the movie, which this is very vague memories from when the movie came out. I was like 4, but I do vaguely remember a bunch of people around me being excited for the movie because it had Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And now I do remember. Basically, the like hot actors of the time were all going to play in this very homoerotic, spicy vampire movie. But then, like, there were quite a few things in the book that they're like, no, that's too much for the 90s, bro. Like, there is a scene where Louis forgets his coffin, and so he and Lestat have to share a coffin, and it gets spicy. And they're like, we're not doing that on screen. But from what I know, it is not because the actors were unwilling. So, I vaguely remember one of them was actually a little upset they couldn't be gayer on screen. So
probably not.
I can't remember which one it was, though, because I was like 4. But
so, yes, very gay.
Yes.
Yeah.
For more of the gayness, read the book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
always here for gay shit.
Oh, but I do know for a fact Lestat is a lot more toxic in the book too. Like they toned down Lestat quite a bit for the movie. He's far more manipulative and toxic in the book. Because, like I said, he is the vampire whom is the monster. Mm-hmm. So I really like the way they explored Claudia being a child forever and her figuring out that she is a child forever, and the fact that even though she is 30 years old, she still does not feel like she is 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she forever feels like a child.
Yeah, and it's because the way that their vampirism works is they are literally frozen in time. Like they can't make any changes to themselves.
Sideburns forever.
They can't even cut their own hair.
I
it goes right back.
This.
Sorry, say that again, CB.
I really like this movie for something that I know has so much story in it, because I know it can be adapted to a TV show that's multiple seasons. So I knew that there was more story there that would be able to be told on the screen, especially with such a long story like this. I kind of knew that going in, was wondering how they're going to deal with that, and I was worried about it feeling rushed. But I liked that the fact that they didn't put up like time cards on the bottom or anything as time ran together. It felt like time was like running together and gave time this very not non-linear, but nothing caught. Like you were very just flowing through time, and I liked that because of the nature of vampires and the world changing around them. When they're like, oh, these changes came about in our family and our lives, you could see that in the style of the dress and the world. But in the time between, it did feel I have like running hands through silk, like that kind of thing. Nothing was catching. And then I
think the fact that whenever a major time skipped, they were also moving locations helped with that a lot.
Yeah.
And then the toxicity of Lestat and them being queer, and how that was obviously censored, toned down for both of those, but it didn't feel like we were cheated out of anything, or it didn't feel like we were teased or baited. with Lestat, you could be like, oh, he's toxic, we're seeing that, and the heaviness in the scenes implies he's done worse that we haven't seen. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay not seeing the absolute awfulness, because you can tell just the way they deal with each other, and then, like, the rest of the world, like, he is awful, and he is awful on screen as well. But there is this more that is being alluded to without having to be like, there's more, but we can't talk about it. And then the queerness being like, the three of us are a family, and all of, like, just the nature of the three of their relationships and the two of their relationships, and how it, like, parallels a toxic romantic relationship, because it is very clearly stated, as much as it can be without feeling like there is a veil over it or anything. Yeah.
It's kind of why I also like the scene where, I'm just gonna call her Claude because I can't. My brain wants to confuse her name. When they meet Armand, and she's like, "Oh, he wants you as a companion," and Louis like, "No, he doesn't." She's like, "Oh no, his soul said to me, like, let him go, let him be with me." Yeah. And she was like, "You should, like, look into that." And he's like, "No, we're not doing that." And she's like, "Okay, I heard differently."
She's like, "You can abandon me for a new stepdad, but I require a mom."
She's like, "You want to leave me? I have mom."
I really appreciate that when she looked for a companion, she looked for a mom in need of a child to, like, fill the hole the same way she filled it for Louis and Lestat.
That it wasn't just a random lady off the street that she tricked with promises of immortality. It was like, no, I want a mother to care about me. And even to the last moment, the woman whose name I Madeline once or twice, Madeline, did care. Like, she did try and protect and comfort Claudia till the very end.
Honestly, I felt that was the singular most tragic part of the entire thing, is that Madeline was given immortality and a promise that she could raise a daughter forever, and then it does not even last 24 hours.
It's mid shifting too. It's like mid her dying, and they get broken into, like, so she doesn't even get to. She literally wakes up to be a vampire, to have this life that she was promised, to have the sun pouring on her 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I did immediately switch over and start watching the TV show. Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through the TV show, just because, like I've said earlier this weekend or something like that, it was on stream somewhere, that I like happy story, or at least I like a happy ending, and I am concerned about the ability to have a happy ending here, but I think it's such a well done story that I will be able to get through it, but it will be in smaller pieces. Like, I won't be able to binge this, I don't think. And also because of how much it impacted the cultural zeitgeist and everything, and that I want to write a vampire thing about a vampire who is still, in the end, human in the ways that it matters. I want to experience the story. And already the changes they've made from the movie, and I assume the book, to the show, I'm like, okay.
I am mildly concerned because, like I said, when I was looking up some, I definitely at certain points, I was like, why vampire shit gotta have weird incest but not incest vibes? Because, like, that's in Dracula too. Well, like, indirectly, kind of like his brides are all supposed to consider each other sisters while they're doing orgy. So it's like, that's not new.
We don't have to keep it, guys.
We really don't. We can get rid of it. And Claudia, I felt it was fine. You know, he even went out of his way to be like, no, she's not my lover. She's my daughter. Until, like, that final, which I do like that, like, they had kisses. So I don't think she actually, you know, that was very obviously a stage kiss, which I appreciate. She was 11, and I don't know how old he was. I also appreciate that at the very beginning, he's all like, yeah, I was 24, which is younger than you are now, but back then that was a man. And I'm like, not 17.
Is he 17 in the book?
Huh?
Is he 17 in the book?
No, but that's the ongoing trend.
Oh, yes.
Is that it's like, oh, I was turned when I was 17 because that's the prime, and I'm like, no, it's actually your mid-20s.
In the TV show, he's in his 30s, and the way they like started that off, he was like, I was 33, and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
He's getting older and older. But you know, that's fine because now your 30s are your 20s. So it's,
my knee's been cracking since 1873.
I've
had back problems since the 1800s.
They also moved it to 1910 is when he turned. And he was black in the TV show. So I was like, knowing he's black in the TV show, I was like,
that would have to change quite a few things.
Oh, yes. Full backstory.
So I'm interested.
So I'm only like a half an hour, 45 minutes into like an hour and 15 long pilot, which is, I love a long pilot. But I'm like sitting there, I was like, as I was watching the movie, knowing he's black in the TV show, being like, how are they gonna do this?
You know what we should watch though, also is Queen of the Damned, which is a movie I watched with my parents when I was like 18, and is technically, it is a prequel to Interview with the Vampire about a young Lestat and the vampire goddess. So I love her so much. Which, let me tell you, as a teenager, I was like, but what if Egyptian vampire who was just worshipped as a goddess? And then a couple of years later, Queen of the Damned comes out, and it's like, but what if Egyptian vampire? And I'm like, we had the same idea. Well, at first I was like, how dare she steal my idea? Then it's like, no, hers is from the 70s. And I'm like, son of a bitch. But yeah.
So Anne Rice wrote Queen of the Damned as well.
I don't know. I just, hold on. But I do know it is in the same universe. Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned book by Anne Rice.
The incest thing. As soon as there's at one point the way they were like, my beloved, and I was like, okay, I can understand the kid Claudia getting these wires mixed up. Like, that makes sense. Like, I don't like it. I prefer any plot. I don't like it in a plot, but it makes sense character-wise for her to get that so messed up in her head because
I get you.
of her existence. But as soon,
I will also say my beloved back in the day didn't actually mean like my lover. Like the only person who like directly was when Armand is like your lover, and I'm like, and then they're like, no, like my beloved is it's just a term of endearment.
Yeah.
And like I call my children like my tiny loves or the little loves of my life and stuff. And so I feel like my beloved is along the same lines of that. It's just a form of expression.
Yes.
But there were some times when it was said
existing.
There was like this one scene between her and Lestat, and I was just like, I was immediately looking up, does Claudia have a sexual relationship with anyone?
Yeah.
And they're like, no. Although it did, this mild potential spoiler for you for the TV show. I don't know if it was a rumor or if they actually do it to where Madeline might be more of a love interest than a mother figure.
I do know that there's some sort of interest for Claudia or something vibe in the TV show. Claudia is I think, even older in that.
Okay, good. I was about to say, I hope they aged her up.
I think
because
she looks like a teenager. I'm looking this up.
Because I do remember in like when I think they're talking to Armand, Claudia does say, "My love, let's go."
Yeah, Claudia does it. But like CB was saying, it's really normal and like, though in fiction, I would prefer it not be a thing, but it is pretty normal for somebody who's younger to get a crush on someone who's older. It is the responsibility of the older person to put the foot down and be like, no. Like,
and I do like that every time someone's like, "Are you two?" They're like, "No,
that is my child, you weirdo."
Yeah,
I love that.
She's 14 in the TV show.
I will also say a like peck on the lips or a lip kiss back in the day between a parent and a kid wasn't all that weird.
Yeah, but the setting of it, the framing
still,
of it was
I know.
Sex.
Yeah.
So it was just like, Peck, okay, let's go to the store and hold my hand. I'll help you walk across the street. But it was like, no, this is our final moment. Let me kiss you. You're laying down being emo.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, no.
Like,
Why are you so weird about this?
Also, don't go in for the kiss right after he said he's sacrificing, like not in exact terms, but he's sacrificing.
He sacrificed his humanity for her happiness.
Like, oh, I can kiss him now, and I'm like, no.
No.
But yeah.
So
turning into a vampire curls your hair.
It curled it, and also if you try to cut your hair, it grows right back.
Yeah, but I just thought it was funny that her hair was so like, you know, dirty and shit, and then like needs a brush, and then all of a sudden,
and then it was just shh. I love that. I also like that.
Honestly, the vibe I got was that Lestat like took her back and then like cleaned her up and made her look nice. He went and got Louis.
Got like a shit CGI, not a shit CGI. It was the 90s.
Yeah,
but, like a CGI of her hair curling as she was turning into a vampire. And
to be fair, I might have been looking at my phone or setting up the stream at that part. So
okay, yeah,
because I started like I went to set up the stream when the movie was like playing. So
yeah, I was like, we didn't do that, but I guess like they had her hair so like scraggly. If they stand by the canon that your hair is locked in the same state forever, her hair would just be scraggly. But I guess like you could still brush it and make just straightening your hair work. Is that changing the shape of your hair? I don't know. I was curious. I was thinking about hair way too much in this movie.
I think anything that involves damaging your hair would not take.
Yeah.
So
like how she cut it, walked into cut her all of her hair, walked into a room, walked back out, and all of her hair was back.
Yeah.
Like what did you do to me? How dare you? And they're like, we didn't do that.
So who was your favorite character? Y'all, this is one of the very basic questions we always ask.
I don't know if I liked anyone that much.
Who is your least disliked character?
Claudia.
Or who? Claudia.
The mom that didn't get to be a mom.
Madeline? That's fair.
Yeah, probably her. She had like 10 lines maybe. At a stretch, but I liked her. I wish I got more.
I do too.
I got more of her.
I think Lou is interesting. I do think this is me being an asshole, but I do think I was like, he's a little whiny for me. Like he has a lot going on. I understand that, but I'm like,
I like Lestat the most. He's my hashtag problematic fave, but I am old school with my vampires, so of course my favorite one is the archetypical representation of
fun. He's fun a third of the time, and the rest of the time I'm like, get off the fucking screen. But that one thirdness is fun when he's being gay and evil.
Yeah, I would. That is a close second because I like.
I thought he was a great dad, personally. Aside from the fact that he made a really stupid decision. In that, you know, he makes so many bad decisions, but I like the bad decisions that he makes because it makes for a really interesting story. Like him,
he's a good dad too.
Him turning Claudia is the equivalent of somebody getting pregnant to fix a marriage.
Yeah, he baby trapped Louis so bad. Before I was Googling, being like, "This is literally just baby trapping." I almost messaged both of you, but I didn't know where you were in the movie.
And then he spoils her.
It's like, you're sad about a wife and child? I'm your wife. Here's a child.
Yeah.
And then he's all like, you two hate me. Maybe I need a new boyfriend and child.
Yeah. He's kind of fucked up. He's entertaining, but he's also, I don't know. I like shipping things and I can't because he's so toxic.
Fair. I would not ship.
Yeah.
I would not ship him with anyone. I want to know more about him and Armand because I think it was pretty obvious that Armand was his sire.
Yes. I was like, you're implying that, but he didn't ask, and I was like, you need to ask your questions in front of me, not off camera.
Right?
I have questions about how vampires work, and you're not asking them. After going on this whole quest to figure it out.
I was gonna say, after going on a hunt for vampires specifically, you find them and you ask nothing
for answers.
I like how they have these little like social the vampire social etiquettes, but it like boils down to don't kill other vampires and don't turn anybody below a certain age. Come on now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
being an eternal child sucks, and I'm like
a feeding boy. I'm like, it's story-wise, I'm like, that's so interesting and so cool because they're definitely grooming him, and like, are they promised him they'll turn him once you get to the point? Like, was he?
There's definitely weird cult vibes going on there.
Like, also, it's giving pedophilia.
That's kind of how I felt when Claude.
I mean, that's why even though I love Antonio Banderas, I cannot love Armand.
Yeah. The moment I saw the child, I was like, I don't like this.
See, every time vampires and children interact, I'm always terrified there's going to be pedophilia because they're usually the vibe.
That's why with Claudia, I had to Google it because I was just so on edge.
I was pretty sure there wasn't actually. So I didn't Google it, and I'm glad I did. But just the interaction, I'm like, no, I want found family. I want to be like, a child. I'm very old. No, the was not the right noise there. Ignore it. Ooh, a child. I'm very old. I want child as my child.
Yeah.
I birthed you now.
Like when Claude brought the two boys for Lestat, and he was kind of like, ooh, 2 children.
I was just hoping he adopts them. I don't, because up until that point, I'm like, Lestat, you've only legal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted to double check a fact before I said this. One reason I was like 90% certain that this would not go that way is because she wrote Interview with the Vampire while she was grieving the loss of her daughter.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think you can really tell that in like the story and everything.
Oh, that makes the Madeline, I think that's her name, whole thing so much sadder.
Yeah.
Of like, here's this woman who's lost her daughter that gets a daughter, and then I'm gonna kill her and the child. And it's like, sweetie, go to therapy. I hope you got better and did well in life.
Okay, I may have been partially mistaken earlier. She's in an interview. She said that she based her vampires on Gloria Holden's character in Dracula's Daughter because it established to her what vampires were, these elegant, tragic, sensitive people. And I was really just going with that feeling when writing Interview with the Vampire. But she did not do a lot of research because she specifically wanted to write vampires not like Bram Stoker's Dracula. She did set out to write them not to be entirely emotionless monsters.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Dracula's Daughter.
No, but I've heard of it.
Yeah.
But I might be getting it confused with Castlevania, where he has a son.
Well, I'm sorry. You continue with what you were saying. I just had to correct myself. I'm going to read this little excerpt thing to try to figure something out.
What was I saying?
I did find it really funny. That
we were talking about the children in it. Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
Like the feeding child that I didn't like. I do enjoy that when he presented his hand, there was a bite here, and Louis was just like, "No, thank you. I don't want to make that part." Funny. It's like, I want to like not have teeth on teeth marks. I don't like this.
Yeah. Also, the fact that like he's totally cool with biting where Lestat has bitten, but not these random fucking vampires. He's like, I don't know where you've been.
Nah, I know where my boyfriend been. I don't know where y'all been. I don't want to put none of y'all.
When the twins or brothers, I think they're supposed to be twins, are introduced, I'm like, okay, there's something about them is going to fuck Lestat over just because she looks hella scheming right now.
And that's where she became my favorite right then and there. Because she
like
fully was just like, because she was just like, oh no, you taught me these tricks. And I was like, ah, oh, hell yeah, she's becoming scheming. She's using his tricks against him.
I think it's more like he set up rules. I like that she was so clever and she was like, okay, you told me not to do something. There's clearly something wrong with doing it then. And she just went full send on like banking, like, not that it like, oh, it doesn't taste very good or oh, it'll get you kind of sick. She's like, no, I'm just gonna hope that it kills him. And it didn't. But the fact that she went so determined on that,
because she's broken the rules before. Because there were definitely rules of like no killing in the house, and there was the girl who wanted to become, and she killed her and left her in the house to rot. That's when they're like, oh, she was like, I'm tired of these dolls. Like, just get rid of them. She freaked out. There's like, what is this body here? I wanted to be her.
Saying, none of them smelled that. Did they lose their sense of smelling?
Also, they're supposed to have like super senses and shit sometimes.
Like later, like it's selective.
They have it until they don't.
Yeah, because Louie's all like, and I smelled the stench of death. A death so old humans wouldn't smell it. And I'm like, so what about the girl in the bedroom, Louie? Did she was she not old enough?
And he smells it from so far away too. It's like, buddy.
Sorry, Dracula's daughter appears to be about a dampier, whom's like half vampire, half human. So, I may still be correct, but either way, regardless of whether or not she was the first, Anne Rice was the one who popularized it and really affected the entire thing. So,
where was I going with that? I had something to say, but I don't. Oh, the
quality of breaking rules.
No, not quite. The wanting to be the woman and the reference to Creole people. I had to look that up because I don't know that word. And
Creole?
Creole, yeah. Still don't quite understand it.
Creole. The Creole people are all right. So France controlled part of the Caribbean for a while, and also part of Louisiana. And if memory serves, there were settlements in Louisiana that was basically French slave owners and Caribbean slaves. And those cultures and populations intermixed. And that is what became the Creole and Cajun cultures of Louisiana that we know today. So
I wondered if it was supposed to be like a POC culture or ethnicity kind of
yes
thing.
and no. Like I said, it was French. Sorry, my brain. French and Caribbean cultures merged together. So it's not all Creole or Cajuns are people of color. There is a white population. I want to say Cajun is more native to Louisiana, whereas Creole is like a culture that like came in because of the immigrating and stuff. But
because Louis said that he was part Creole, and I was like,
no, he just is Creole.
Oh, he didn't say part. He said he's part Creole.
According to the Google machine, Creole referred to people born in Louisiana during the colonial period who spoke French, Spanish, and/or Creole languages practiced by the Roman Catholic faith, regardless of their ethnicity.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
and that's
so
without the AI.
With not knowing what it was, I was like, maybe that's because I assumed it was some cultural thing of at least the minority there, and so I thought maybe it was like, okay, maybe that's why. the portrayal of slavery in this movie is interesting.
I think it's toned down from the book, because I think one of the things that is like hotly debated, well, not debated, but like one of the discussions it's that I more recently found out about, I don't know if the discussion is recent, was Anne Rice's portrayal of slavery and plantation owning. And she's used as an example of like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, because she did it historically well. And like there are points when the vampires are like air quote good slave owners, and then there are also times when they're not, and it's sort of like, I think, boils down to the fact that they just see all humans as prey, like regardless of things. And Lestat kind of prefers feeding on the aristocracy and people who are more prone to corruption, because he thinks sin tastes good. So there's that. But I do feel like the movie did a very Hollywood 1990s portrayal of slavery. So
yeah, I want to say, when I was watching it, the portrayal of slavery, the fact that he's a good master, and his like, I thought for a second they were gonna have a romantic relationship between the slave woman that he ends up killing, and I was like, don't love that. And then they didn't. She died, and I was like, actually, I like that less. But there was, I think they did, at least it didn't seem like, oh, our good master, we love him so much. Like there is a clear fear in her, because she's the most like present representative of the rest. Of the actions, she's afraid of Lestat and how Louis is changing around him. The fact that they're like, oh, we're like afraid of him and we're afraid of you. And it at least allows the whole like, they want him to be okay, because if he's not okay, they could get someone worse next.
The devil you know over the devil you don't.
Exactly.
You don't,
and I think they did a surprisingly okay job of doing that. Like I was worried that it was going to be like, I don't know, too not acknowledging the fact that there are horrors, and it didn't like, properly portray actual reality of back then. But I was surprised about the little bit they were willing to admit.
Most likely,
but just in general.
This is Sam hearsay, but I would assume that was probably Anne Rice's influence herself. So she had a wild life, by the way. Like, and it is like very much reflected. I do need to go on record saying I have not read any of her writing yet. She's always been on my TBR in one of those like rabbit holes that I really need to go down. I was going to tackle her after I finished the Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot series, but I have read quite a bit on her like life and how it influenced her writing. And it seems that like after she had lost her daughter, she wrote Interview with the Vampire, and that was kind of like when she surged. And then she found Christianity, and her writing more reflected that. And then she got less popular. By the end of her life, she distanced herself from Christianity again. But I just highly recommend, like, I don't want to go too into it because we're talking about the movie, but I just recommend looking into her life and everything, because I find Anne Rice is the Tolkien of vampire media. In my opinion, she should be researched just as people research Bram Stoker. So,
Mad respect for Matt Damon. Didn't know he had those acting chops. Honestly.
Hey,
What?
who was he?
Did I say Matt? Yeah. Wait,
Yeah, who was Matt Damon?
Yeah.
He's the actor for the main guy, right?
No, that's Brad Pitt.
Well, fuck. Then Brad Pitt, not Matt Damon. We're all the same person. Look. Wait, it was Matt Damon then. Just like.
Well, no, see, I would not have been surprised if because Matt Damon is like one of those people where I know his name, but I never recognize him in any movie.
Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, they're the same person in my head. So I'm not surprised I added the third one when he wasn't in.
Honestly, I would have continued assuming Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt were the same people, if not for the fact they were playing gay lovers in this movie.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt.
Truly,
I didn't realize he had such acting chops. Like I haven't seen. I guess I've seen some stuff he's been in, probably, but not like in the first 10, 15 minutes of this man on screen. I was like, oh, he's good. Like, he's a good actor. I kind of assumed he was just a pretty face.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, I feel like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise are both like extremely well known for their looks and for being able to, like be hot action leads and stuff. But I've never actually seen any of their action movies. I'm just like, I'm like, but they can. Although I will say, I think if I'm remembering them correctly, I think Brad Pitt does better in dramas, and Tom Cruise is better funny.
So I'm looking
I could be wrong.
Brad Pitt's filmography, and I have only seen his action movies. I was like, what have I seen him in, and why did I not think he was able?
Now I'm curious.
I didn't think he was a bad actor. I just didn't realize.
Didn't know he was a good one. No, I get it. Yeah. These are not necessarily the same.
And I didn't realize him at 24 or whatever the fuck age he was in this movie had the kind of chops that I saw.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith was the first thing I consciously remember seeing Brad Pitt in.
Okay, how old was he when that movie came out?
I don't know. I was about to look it up because I was like, wait, his character was 24, but how old was he?
In 1963. So
that movie came out in 1994.
So he was baby.
94 minus 63 is 31.
Really? Yeah, yes. 31. Wow, I
am old. I am currently older than he was when he was in
that movie. Wow.
I'm also just looking, man, he's been in a lot of things.
He's young looking now. But yeah, he was a lot better than I. Even Tom, when I saw the beginning, I was like, this is so mean. But I was like, I don't know if these men can act. And they can, because all I've ever seen them in are like movies. So.
And they were fully like, we wanted to be gayer, but we couldn't.
Maybe.
Damn Hollywood.
God damn you, Hollywood.
The Hays Code. But honestly, I would want that attitude from my leads.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, you're going to be like gay lovers. Like, okay, can we go like really gay? No. Damn it.
Well, it's like there's a voice actor that they play a character in an anime whom is supposed to be like.
So they did fully kiss, by the way. Kristen Dunst and
I was like, I don't remember the stat in Louis.
I was gonna say, like,
no.
When is the recent stat kiss?
Quote, that was the worst thing I did, and also having to obviously bite the neck of an actor. And obviously having to kiss Brad Pitt at that point. I was a little girl, and he was like a brother to me, and it was very weird, even though it was a peck. I was very not into it, she says later.
Oh, okay.
Which, yeah. They should have just faked it out or something.
It looked like they did fake it out. Like,
I think it was enough. I was expecting them to cut, and then they just waited a second too long before the cut. And I'm like, you could have just moved it up before they actually touched.
Yeah.
Like you could have faked that. or a million other things that's Hollywood magic, but they didn't. And but yeah, just my general. I prefer that it was never even a plot point, but I'm wondering if they wore wigs in this movie.
I know. I kept looking at their hair. I'm like, that can't be their hair. That has to be wigs.
I think that is their hair.
No, I'm pretty. I don't know about Tom Cruise, but I'm pretty sure that's Brad Pitt's hair.
Yeah, it was enough shots of him like falling and it like literally being me staring at his hairline as he's turning into a vampire, and me being like,
it was the way his bang moved with a cowlick. I was like, I have that exact same cowlick, Brad. I understand.
I was like, it's definitely super like straightened and blown out, which is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it was styled to hell and back, but that was
I do think that like the fact that his little like, even right now you can kind of see in my hair because I like last minute straightened this, where it is especially around the hairline having like scraggly bits.
Yeah,
I think he had that going on as well, which I enjoyed. I thought that was funny.
They both wore wigs.
No, I forgot to.
What the fuck kind of wig you got? Because that was a good one.
Tom Cruise was wearing a wig. Okay. It was nice to create fake wigs to put on other wigs so that it looks real. What?
What's your source?
Hang on.
I think Tom Cruise
Interview with a Vampire.
But I think I just saw a picture of him doing an interview and his hair's super fucking long. Both of their hair is lengthy.
Brad Pitt did not wear a wig in Interview with Vampire. His long dark hair in the film was his natural hair. He grew his hair long for the role, which contributed to the character's distinctive look. While he wore a brown...
Yes?
Oh, it's... Sorry, it says while he wore a brown wig, luminous green contact lenses, and extensive makeup during filming, the hair itself was not actually a wig.
Huh.
But that says while he wore a brown wig.
I know, that's why I'm confused.
Yeah, because Tom Cruise had one. His natural hairline was dyed blonde.
They tried to give him a wig, and it didn't.
And he could have worn a wig in some scenes and not others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where they need like different looks, or his hair wouldn't shape, or they like this is a very specific look, so they prepped it in advance so they wouldn't spend time on makeup doing that, and it could be exact, or like filming across multiple days, they would put him in a wig so they don't have to worry about like how his hair blew out that day. Like having a wig for part of it, they do plenty of that to all sorts of actors across all sorts of things, where it's like just a total normal hairstyle, but they'll have a wig for certain scenes. Hell, they have David Cornsway has a bald cap on for filming a lot of the Superman flying scenes because they have to CGI his hair.
His hair. Yep.
Which is horrifying.
I do know that.
It's not horrifying, cool and interesting, but I wish I didn't know it. And now you all do too. So you're welcome.
Okay, so the source I read could have just been like, oh, hey, they did because he probably did for like a scene or two. And they're like, he wore a wig for the movie.
Or or a lot of them or something. But it just, there were certain scenes where I'm like, if this is a wig, this is beautiful work.
Yeah. Then there's other times where you look at it like, I think that's a wig. I'm pretty sure that's a wig.
Yeah. But I love hair in movies, and in general. So one thing, even watching, like Rowan and I will watch our, like Rowan and I's friendship, like the live action show for Grandmaster, which Sam and I will be talking about tomorrow on stream. The wigs in that show are so fucking bad. They're so bad. The
real quick, going
all the way to here.
Going back to the movie we're discussing today, apparently this was something that I vaguely knew but I had forgotten, was Brad Pitt actually hated his performance in Interview with the Vampire because he didn't like the way they portrayed Louis. He much preferred Louis's portrayal in the book, and he wanted to do something more like that, but they told him no.
What's the difference? Do you know the difference?
Okay, what he said was in the movie, they took the sensational aspects of Lestat and made that the pulse of the film. And while those are very enjoyable and very good, but for me, there was just nothing to do. You just sit and watch. So they're hidden, Kirby. You can't see. I wouldn't be able to talk if I had fangs.
I think. I think that's undermining his own performance. Him saying,
"I do." I think that perhaps. Well, like I said, I'm like continuing to read this to see if I can get any more specific quotes. I think like it's just because, like I said, I have really the vaguest of memories of the discussions and having read about it before and stuff. And I really wish I could have done more reading before today, but I was dying.
Yeah.
But I think if I remember right, in the book, Louis is so much more dramatic. And he's
definitely a subtle character.
But in the book, he's so much more drama and stuff. And Lestat's complaining about Louis complaining makes more sense in the book.
Like he's just standing there looking sad and conflicted.
So I think. And also, as we discussed earlier, they took out a lot of the more homoerotic things, and I think that was definitely upsetting for Brad Pitt specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Brad who had the issue earlier, but I could not remember.
I hope so. Good for Brad Pitt. Tom Cruise is in a fucking Scientology, so.
Tom Cruise was great. He just played a giant child throwing a tantrum about everything and trying to fix things and fucking it up, so.
Yeah.
But, like, I could also, if I was Brad, I could see being annoyed at that thing, so I'd be like, he got to play, so you get to do something so fun, and then here I am.
Doing this.
I think, it interesting, but not likable, the people in this movie, and these characters.
Yes, and I don't particularly think they're supposed to be likable, so.
Yeah.
I just enjoy liking.
Except Madeline. Madeline is the MVP.
Yes.
What did we think of the reporter?
Oh, so isn't he plays? I recognize him from Robin Hood.
Was he in Robin Hood? Wait, which Robin Hood? There's so many.
Kevin Costner's Robin Hood, I think.
Okay, yes, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's my.
Who is the reporter?
He plays
Daniel Malloy.
You know, that person, Kristen Slater.
Also, I fully forgot to put up the poll, so I'm gonna go put it up now to see how many people have seen this movie. And chat, who is your guys' favorite character, or like what was your favorite part of the movie? Share your opinions on it.
I'll look at all three of us.
Thieves. He plays Will Scarlet because I had a crush on him as a small child. He has magnificent hair and is pretty. In 1991, I was like, this was before Interview with the Vampire because he looks a little bit older in Interview. But
okay, so other than having a crush on his actor,
when I was a small child, I think he's interesting. I know I keep saying interesting, but I enjoy his crash out at the end, honestly.
When he's like, I thought you were supposed to bring me up here to turn me into one of you, and he's like, did you not hear me talk at all?
Bruh, I have been talking at you for 2 hours. My God, I didn't whine hard enough.
Right.
Yeah, not even. I didn't like the turn me into one because it was entitled, but it fits. It's an interesting thing. I keep saying interesting, but I liked that's the fucking end. That can't be the end.
Just end like that, and it's like, bro,
that not being the end of him getting him running away, getting in the car, and Lestat showing up and attacking him. I'm like, yeah, because Lestat just fucking cares.
I like how I think it is, to borrow CV's word, interesting that I actually very much enjoy that at the end Lestat comes in, and because on the one hand you're like, oh yeah, it's a very Lestat thing for him to come in and turn the guy that Louis just said, no, I'm not turning you. But also, like, this whole thing has been about how, like, Louis is the one vampire who, like, can adapt with the times and can change because of the era he comes from, and blah 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 blah. But then, like, at the end, Lestat is the one who's had character development because he's like, I'm going to give you the choice that I never had.
Well, Lestat he used that same line on Louis.
Yeah, but with Louis, you don't. I don't know. It feels less like he means it with Louis, like, which may just also be a difference between like interpretation. Because with Louis, it feels like he's like, yeah, I'm gonna give you the illusion of choice, but I know you don't actually have a choice.
Cody, are you raising your hand?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because I do this whenever I have I just put a finger up whenever I have a thought and I don't want to lose it. Because Lestat coming in at the end, I love how he's like, God, I listened to this for 2 centuries. How can you listen to this? And like ejects the cassette while he's driving.
He's also like, that's the other thing, is he is full on adapted to the world. Motherfucker is driving.
Yeah, he's driving.
He's still in his old clothes. He's just like,
I'm almost wondering if him laying there in the horrible old clothes was a manipulation of Louis.
He's got a penthouse, but he's been tracking Louis, but he like found out that Louis was on his way back, and he's like, I gotta go down to the quarter. I gotta find a mausoleum. just chilling.
Real quick.
Yeah. Also, what were the searchlights looking for? Why?
Yeah. I know. Why is there a helicopter here?
I need to call my aunt, who's born and raised in Louisiana, and ask her if that's a normal thing.
The fact that he comes back, he's still looking emaciated before he attacks the interviewer, or the reporter.
Yeah, it makes it
much, but somewhat. And then he does attack, and he feels better, but he's just wearing a leather jacket, like with his little cuffs. Like, he generally, I guess, know how to drive, depending on the last when he did abscond from society, if he did that. But the fact that he just, like, it feels like it is a performance. I feel like he was performing in the past. I don't know why he's wearing the fugly ass shirt that's rotting away nowadays, because he could have gone to the store and like bought a new one if he really likes the style. But the fact that he like, I don't think that he's just been wasting away for all of that time. That's my headcanon. It's probably answered somewhere, but yeah.
I think in the book, when I was looking up differences, I think in the book, Louis doesn't leave him to die. He puts him in a box and then puts him in a junkyard so that he can heal up on rats.
That's crazy.
Let me double check that.
That's crazy.
Between,
because if he's been starving all that time, like, I don't think he's been starving all that time because I don't know, I almost think he would be worse off.
And also, if he's still like emaciated looking, if the vampirism makes him stay as they looked, why does he still look so emaciated after so long?
Oh, because he drank the dead blood and he's got to recover from that.
Yeah. And he was burned. Like, it makes sense for him to be injured, but then for so long later?
That's where I'm like, when he's like in modern day, I'm like,
or in the,
like, how are you? How 80s. Are you still looking at this? Yeah.
In the 80s of him being so fucked up, I'm like, the last we checked in with you guys, it was still 18 something, I think.
That's where I'm like, how come it's been so long and he still looks messed up? And to the extent that
Louis visited him yesterday. It hasn't been a while. He
Like,
stopped
if
by, saw Lestat, and then went to the interview.
No,
Yeah.
I think they said it was the 80s.
Oh, I don't. Well, the movie was made in '94, so
So I think in the 80s, that's when, because he's walking out of the Sunset Theater, and I think he mentions it's, or the Sunset movie. I think he mentions it's the 80s. He meets Lestat again, and then now it's roughly sometime later, I'm guessing the 90s from the vibes. But I think it is like he meets Lestat again in the 80s. I think that was said.
apparently in the book, Louis does not have a reluctance to kill humans. He kills people until he learns he can live off animals, and he's like, "Oh, I'd rather do that." According to this secondhand source of information.
Of him being like, "Oh, I didn't like that would switch his entire conflict of the movie."
Yes.
And then I know the TV show opens up, and he's not a plantation owner. He's still rich, coming from a rich, well-off family, but it's 1910 and they're black, and his father died, and his brother has a mental illness. His sister's about to get married, and he's the proprietor of 8 out of about 24 whorehouses in New Orleans. And he managed them.
Also, apparently, in the book, they don't get turned right away. Like, Lestat drains Louis, then comes back a couple nights later. Louis drains Claudia. She ends up in a hospital for orphans. Lestat goes and finds her a couple days later and then brings her back to the hotel he and Louis are staying in, and it's like, this is our daughter now.
That kind of could have happened in the movie.
Yeah,
and they just breeze by those days. There was
and wait, who was operating whorehouses?
Louis in the TV show.
Oh, okay.
When he's alive.
Gotcha. All right. Sorry, I was reading this and only processed half of what you had said.
So they're not setting him up as this like moral paragon, or like not the same type of morals, not the good Christian morals.
They also, when they're in Europe in the book, they do encounter other vampires, but those vampires are mindless monsters.
Sounds like we all have to go read the book and then reconvene.
We do. Yeah. We'll read the book and then we'll do another Let's Talk.
Okay, I'm down for that. Is there an audiobook version of this?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
I already reserved it from the library.
So it was the same.
I can reserve it from my library.
I guess in the book, Lestat does not reappear to offer Daniel immortality. So sad.
Mm-hmm. I know in the TV show, I like how they set it up. Again, I'm like half an hour to 45 minutes in. Daniel's an old guy at this point, and he has the scar on his neck from the initial bite, and they're setting it up as it's like they had the conversation in the 90s or sometime in the past. I think it's further back than the 90s. And now in 2022, they're meeting up again, and Daniel is like, I know you left some stuff out. I didn't ask the right questions. I was high, like fully established. I was high. These are the ramblings of a young man who doesn't know what he's doing. I'm here as an interviewer with a career now to ask you questions, and like not let you get out of it. And I'm like, I'm actually so hyped for that. Of him being like, no, I want the fucking truth. And the way
I want to know everything.
Yep.
That's wild, and I love that.
And the fact that it isn't the exact same setup as it was last time, or like in the movie, and I assume in the book. So, ta-da.
I am excited
About
that we're going to read the book because
I don't have
Also, we should all watch Queen of the Damned because it's just so good.
I've heard. I was telling my roommates that we were watching this and talking about it, and one of them was like, "Queen of the Damned is so good." I'm like, I haven't seen either one.
So good. Granted, from what I remember, because I've only seen it once, like 17 years ago, it does follow the formula a bit more of action vampire movie.
Okay.
And I enjoyed Lestat in Queen of the Damned, but he had such a 90s vampire aesthetic. He had leather pants, like 80s leather pants, and so he was like he was a completely different man than in this movie. So
is it set in the past though?
I don't actually know when it's set. Hold on, let me go.
Because if it's set in the 80s or something like that, because then it would totally confirm him being whiny and sad and come back to me is a complete act.
It's a 2002 horror movie. Yes, thank you. Based on the 1988 novel, The Queen of the Damned, the third book in the Vampire Chronicles series. It is a standalone sequel to Interview with the Vampire. So it's a sequel. So presumably it takes place after.
Interesting. Yeah, the whole time after he died in the fire, I'm like, that bitch isn't dead. I don't think. And the fact that all of those other vampires died in that fire, I was like, are they not dead either?
Nah.
Or maybe it destroyed the roof enough for the sunlight to come in and actually kill them.
I think it takes place after Interview. The beginning of the plot is the sound of a rock band arouses the vampire Lestat de Lioncourt. That should be Lestat de Lioncourt, but anyway, from a lengthy slumber and proceeds to take over as their lead singer.
Wow.
That's kind of cool.
It is.
Like I said, I had vague memories of when Interview with the Vampire came out because I was a toddler/kid, and I remembered everyone was excited because a bunch of hot people were going to be playing the gay vampires, and people were talking about how homoerotic it was or wasn't going to be, and how one of the lead actors wasn't happy with their portrayal, but the other one had a lot of fun or some shit like that. And then oh wait, Queen of the Damned came out in 2002. But how old was I when I saw it then? But anyway,
is Tom Cruise in it?
No, okay. I don't think so. I think
I was like, he would have aged.
No, I think Stuart Townsend is the one who plays Lestat, because I remember Lestat having dark hair. But then Queen of the Damned came out, and I know Aaliyah, who plays Akasha, which is the Egyptian vampire and / Lestat's ex, she died in a plane crash shortly after, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I remember everyone was talking about how I was like, that is not the same Lestat. So,
that is not the same boy.
But I'm excited. We should watch it.
Okay.
We just watched Interview with a Vampire, which I'm like, yeah, this is a good movie. I think people should watch it and enjoy it. It's a great vampire movie. And then you're gonna watch Queen of the Damned and be like, oh, so Sam saw this in her formative years. Just gonna understand.
This is gonna make a lot of sense.
I wonder if cats can turn into vampires.
Vampires can shapeshift. Back in the day, they could shapeshift into animals, and wolves were one of them. So I don't know about cats, though.
That's not what I said, Sam. I wonder if cats can turn into vampires, not if vampires can turn into cats. If
theoretically, yes.
Turn Storm into a vampire, too.
Theoretically, yes.
It has not been proven false, but it's not been proven true.
It's like all that stuff where it's like you can be immortal forever and pick one other person.
You should pick your cat.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd be hard pressed not to.
because like dooming someone else to this fate is a little sketchy unless you know them.
Immortality.
But then it's like, my faithful companion who I love forever and loves me, perfect.
Exactly. I wouldn't get pissed off at a cat. Like, oh, I can't believe I wasted my immortality token on you. What if we fall out of love? I'm never falling out of love with a cat.
You'll live so long you can fall back in love together.
Yeah, but what if they're like annoying? What if you didn't know something about them? What if they're actually evil or some shit?
I'll just kill them.
That's
fine.
Yeah.
But they're immortal. Not vampires in this situation. They're just immortal.
Oh, see, I was
typically immortality does not mean invulnerable, so
yeah,
find a way.
I mean, you can cut them in half, shove them in a box, and kick them down a hill.
What if they're
it's just like
really annoying?
What if they're what? It's a big world. I don't have to be anywhere near them.
Yeah, but what if they I don't know, follow you or some shit? But there would still be regret in spending your immortality on them. There would not be regret in spending it other than if you fall in love. But that's temporary and cats are forever.
But if they're also super annoying like that, I can just get a restraining order on them, and then bam, they legally can't be anywhere near me. And if they are, they get arrested.
But you wasted the prospect of giving another being immortality.
Okay, it sounds like a me problem at that point.
Exactly.
Okay.
Find other things to do.
Yeah, if I'm immortal, here's the thing. I have so many projects. I would be this deep in just shit to do.
I'd never get anything done because there's no pressure.
That's my problem.
If I was single, I would use my immortality token on my sibling. They would hate me for it.
How would you choose? You'd have to choose.
I would honestly probably save it.
It would be my middle sister because she's single forever, and the other one would get mad at me because she'd outlive her spouse and children.
Yeah.
So, granted, my middle sister would also be pissed at me that she's outliving all of our loved ones, but I'll be like, but you're stuck with me forever now, bitch.
You and me forever, motherfucker. Get used to it.
Well, I'd choose you, Storm, just so you know.
I'm not choosing anything that is dependent upon me. It's just...
No, it's the only
Claudia taught us that is a bad idea.
Yeah, truly. Because then also, what if in 30 years or so, you're just like, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with you.
Storm is an adult. She's still dependent upon you. Also, you'd have to wait till she gets in shape, because could you imagine going to the vet for... Hold on, but could you go to the vet for eternity and then be like, yeah, no, she's still overweight, but she can't lose weight because now she's frozen.
She's skinny now. I'm sending you a picture that I took today. Literally to the point where I'm like, should I just feed her the maintaining weight amount now? She's not
that's between you and your vet.
Yeah.
She is.
That's between you and your primary vet technician.
I don't know that she's on a diet last time I talked to her. So, but that was 5 pounds ago.
All right. But we should go ahead and wrap up.
Cool. I like this movie. I don't know that, like I said, I don't know if I'll be able to get through the TV show unless they change some characters to make them more likable. Just because of the way I consume media. But I do think it is good. So yeah, that's my Spark Notes.
I felt this was a good... Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Cody, you go first, and I will wrap up.
As someone who doesn't like vampires, very notably, I am a werewolf fan through and through. I liked it. I really did. I liked the portrayal of Lestat as the toxic vampire, monster terrible thing, to Claude, who is like, yes, I have some of the humanity from my one papa.
You mean Louis?
Oh no, you mean Claude.
Oh, Claudia, never mind. Go on.
Claude is like, I have some of the humanity and love from my one papa, but also the sneaky, conniving murderers of my other papa, just fused together. Also, I just like some of her outfits, like when she goes to the doll maker and she's wearing like that cute, like the bonnet with like the coverall, and the dude's like, "Oh, you can't afford it," and then she walks away. I'm like, I like that outfit. It's cute. She's got cute outfits.
Pretty sure she murdered him.
She did.
Oh, of course, she definitely murdered him. She's wearing something cute when she did it, though.
Yeah,
and not a single drop of blood on it because she's a professional.
She was taught well.
Yep, taught well.
I think it's a really good movie. As to whether or not it's a good adaptation is always up to debate, and like we can't really debate it having not read the book.
And also, it could just.
I do know that
then.
Anne Rice herself worked on the movie and seemed to have liked how it came out, and really, for me, with any adaptation, that's like a really big thing, is if the original creator enjoyed the adaptation. I want to read the book series now. I always have. It might move up in my list. We'll see. And I'm going to hound people to watch Queen of the Damned. I haven't seen that movie in 17 years, but it does have. It's one of those movies where I'm like, I do feel like it had a very strong effect on my perception of vampire lore. So
me at Tangled, except my perception of story, apparently.
I was about to say Tangled.
Oh yeah, you know all the vampires in Tangled?
You know, Mother Gothel, there's a strong argument that she doesn't.
She's just an energy vampire.
To do a Tangled vampire retelling.
But thank you all for joining us. Tomorrow, CB and I are going to discuss Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, Volume 3. And then Friday, we're going to discuss another piece of vampire media that had a very strong influence on my my perception of vampires and stuff, In the Forest of the Night by Amelia Atwater Road. So join us. And of course, there's always Whip Wednesday, but we're not talking about books there, so who cares?
Yeah.
We'll see you all later.
This is book time, baby.
Bye. Oh, wrong one.